no more. Baby, we said to take no more. That road ain't my own. Crazy in the black and white. We got to know so tight. Baby, we come to read them songs. We saw we do it on. We do this melody. Welcome back to the Soulful Afro show, where this week we were celebrating Black Girl Magic, and today I have a special guest joining me, Shaidia. Shaidia, am I saying it right?
It's Shadea.
Shaidia is joining me, and she is the founder. And I love what you wrote when you sent me your bio, the woman behind Black Girl Magic's existence. She is a junior, wow, young, junior at University of South Carolina, studying African American Studies and Art Studio. She chose to create this platform in May 2015 on Instagram after she felt people around her were lacking opportunities to exchange real, authentic communication. After launching Black Girl Magic online, her immediate response rate inspired her to conduct live meetups while residing in New York for the summer. Only 3 weeks after her first online event, Shaidia branched Black Girl Magic into an interactive platform that is soon to be in Boston on Saturday. Welcome, my dear. I am so looking forward to meeting you in person.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on your radio.
You are so welcome. Tell me a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about your Black Girl Magic and your intent in sharing that special light with 100 women in Boston on Saturday.
Well, a little bit about me. As said before, I'm a junior in college, and I'm 21 years old, and I live in Columbia, South Carolina. And my Black Girl Magic, which is what I always say, the state of being. Being myself, being true to what I want to do in my life, and being true into what I want to convey to others. And bringing it to Boston, I'm just really excited to show them what experience that we're really lacking in the community. And it's something that should be normal. And I want to normalize communication within our community.
Normalize communication, but also normalize sisterhood. We
Exactly.
have been lacking in that piece, in that space, to be able to look at each other and say you're beautiful, to be able to look at each other and say thank you, I got your back. You know, the term has gotten a lot of flack. Let me read something from a piece on The Root that was a response to the article in Elle magazine, and it said, Black Girl Magic is just another way of saying I see you, boo. It's acknowledging a woman in her moment, knowing the twice as hard work it took for her to get to wherever she is. It's far less annoying version of yes, the Black women's equivalent of the head nod that Black men give to acknowledge each other. And so it's not saying that we're superhuman, but the phrase is just a celebratory phrase. It's a positive and communal phrase. Because in Spanish is, I see you, yo te veo. And it's a huge statement because sometimes we do not see each other.
Agreed.
So how is this playing into what you have created?
I think this is playing into what I created. Basically, from the workshop that I hold at Black Girl Magic itself, there's a lot of exercises that we do to get the women to recognize each other, get them to recognize their beauty, their strength, and their truth. And I think everything that you just said that was spoken by The Root is exactly what I'm attempting to do in the workshop. But I will say that everything that happens in the workshop is because of the women that come.
Ah, sweet.
This is bigger than me. This is it. I can't take claim for making what Black Girl Magic is now. It's the women that attend that make it. It's their experiences, their stories, their openness to share their stories and to bond with each other and to create sisterhood that we need. Create friendship. So.
Tell me, we have a lot of listeners who will not be able to come into that special space with us on Saturday, Hassan, and I'm very proud to say that Soulful Afro is one of the sponsors of this event. Give them a little tweak of something you do in the workshop that they can sort of at least visualize being in that space with us on Saturday.
Okay. I would have to say this one, which is my favorite, is called The Magical Space.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what I do is I ask all the women to gather.
If you want to speak up a little bit more because you're sounding muffly, just if you can get closer so I don't want them to miss it. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, now's your time to yell.
Okay. So I do an exercise called the magical space, and basically what I do is I have all the women come together and hold hands in a circle, and I get them to close their eyes. And during the magical space, basically I say, this is a magical space. Here you can be as open, as vulnerable as you need to be. And I want you to take a moment to think about a past or current situation that has been on your heart and on your mind that you would like to release into the space. And I give them 20 seconds to think about it. And then I ask all the women to break hands but keep their eyes closed. And then I ask them to hold out their hands, and I guide whoever into the circle who wants to speak. And that is literally the most powerful part of the workshop because it's just so mind-blowing what women go through. And just hearing them be so open and vulnerable in a room full of strangers, it really speaks volumes on the potential sisterhood that is made and the trust and the love that we have for each other. And just like when the women, previously for the event I had in New York on Sunday, the women opened up. And then one sister, well, a couple of sisters, they started, crying. And all the women came around her and we embraced her together. And it's such a powerful moment, and that's my favorite part.
Now you have incorporated, one of the things about me and the Soulful Afro show is how music plays a big part in how we move, how we lift ourselves up, how we think. And there's been a lot of talk, the Grammys were Monday, talk about Beyonce and Formation and Kendrick Lamar. One of my favorite CDs of the year, Black Messiah by D'Angelo, won a Grammy. How does music come into the Black Girl Magic space?
Music comes into the Black Girl Magic space as a way to uplift the women. As we all know, music for people of color, it's just, I feel like we take something more from it than other people do because there was a time period before where it was something to uplift us in the most hardest times of our lives during slavery. We would sing. And so right now what I do is I use the music to uplift them after I do the Magical Space workshop because, that drains people's energy hearing all of that, all of those stories and all of the things that those women go through. So I try to incorporate music to uplift them, but to also bring exposure to local musicians and artists in that area.
So, we have a few more minutes. What would be your message to those who are saying that, and even those who look like you and I, who are saying that Black Girl Magic is doesn't make sense, it's too big of a statement, what would you say to them? Like, what would be like that parting word, like, you know what, we need this. We don't get this enough. When I think of Sandra Bland, and I think of last year the attacks on Serena Williams as she was trying to, get the Grand Slam. When I think of Misty Copeland, when I think of First Lady Michelle Obama, I mean, we have been under attack in so many ways. So we deserve to stand up and say, Black Girl Magic, I see you, because all of those women, I felt Sandra Bland's death. I feel when Serena gets criticized for her body. Like, those are things that we take on if we truly understand that we are connected and that this is an issue of sisterhood. So what would your response be to those naysayers? But also to those who are really looking for us to uplift them also.
I think what I would say to sum it up is that we need healing. That's something that has really been lacked in our community, because a lot of times when people look at Black women or women of color, they look at us as always being strong. But in Black Girl Magic workshops, we bring the recognition that vulnerability is strong too. And so I think overall it's important for us to have that healing, and I think that saying, I am Black Girl Magic, or what I'm doing is Black Girl Magic, is a statement to all who don't agree with it. And it's something that's needed.
Yeah.
People will always have opinions, but at the end of the day, it's needed.
Where does love fall into all of this?
Where does love fall in all?
Yeah. Where does love fall into all of what you're doing and what we're talking about?
I think for what I'm doing and what we're talking about, love falls into being able to love ourselves and being able to love those around us, those who look like us, those who don't look like us. I think that's important too, because at a previous meetup, I had a girl who talked about struggling with loving herself and Black identity when she mostly identified as white, because she was fair skinned, but her parents, one of her parents was white, one of her parents was Black. So I think it's important, and I also think that love is just something that's already in a workshop. When you have a room full of Black women who are bringing positive energy, a room full of women of color who are bringing positive energy and good intention, I think love is already present.
No. Well, I thank you so much for joining me. I am excited to be in this space with you, and I look forward to seeing you. You get in on Friday. We have all day Saturday together, and then you leave on Sunday. And I think it's going to be a fabulous weekend. I think Boston is going to be lucky. For those who are listening, who are going to be sharing this space with you, great. For those who will not be, hopefully we will do this again, and you'll be able to come and join us. So much admiration, my dear, for doing this, for creating this workshop, for bringing it to Boston, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. So safe travels. Safe travels.
Thank you so much, and thank you again for supporting me, for sponsoring me, for having me on the radio show. I appreciate all of it.
You're so welcome. I already feel like I know you and love you from afar. So I just I get to hug you in person on Saturday.
Yes. I love you from afar too.
Yes. So you take care, sweetheart, and I'll see you Saturday, okay?
All right, see you Saturday.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So that was our wonderful segment with Shaidia Caldwell, who's coming on Saturday to Boston to do the Black Girl Magic. And I wanted to close this segment out with a quote. Tomorrow is one of my Shero's birthday. And it speaks to, it's something I posted this today on the Soulful Afro page to open up the day. And I'll leave this segment with this quote. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. Audre Lorde. So we will be right back for the other segment of the show, which is latest headlines, but also the Finishers Spit Club members that are going to be joining us today. We'll be right back.